what has been your best day? Because I like to leave like, you know, on a high note. If you can remember, what has been your best day dollar-wise as a notary that you can remember?
That I remember?
Yeah.
I'd probably say closer to like 1,800 in one day. It was a snow day. That's what it was, because no one wants to work on a snow day. So I took everybody's work. That was fun. That was fun.
Oh, that's dope. All right.
And that's loan closings. Loan closings and general notary work. Yeah. Hey guys, how are you? Oh, my light's not on. Let me cut my light on. Hold on. I like my light to be lighty. Let's see. That's better. So this is going to be a short live because I actually have to get ready to go to my Chesterfield Chamber luncheon. So every major city or county typically will have a chamber of commerce where it's a great resource for the community. I mean, for business owners in that community to come together, network, learn, get trainings, things like that. And so I'm a member of a couple different chambers in Virginia. And so most of them will have different events that you can be a part of, different branding opportunities, different little incentives, things like that. Speaking opportunities, training opportunities, things like that. And it's just a good way to kind of get in and network with people. And so today I'll be headed out there to our monthly luncheon to do some networking and just see what everyone's up to. I haven't been there in a few months. And so definitely need to get back out to this one in particular and just continue to brand build and network and all that good stuff. I also will email some of the members and just, let them know that I offer notarial service, all that good stuff. And yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. But I want to hop on here really quick and just give you guys some updates. And then we can do some Q&A as well for the next 15 minutes and just help you guys with your notary business. So a couple updates we have going on. We have our Northern Virginia training that is on, if you're in Northern Virginia, it's July 22nd. I will be out there. So it is in person. It's no virtual streaming options, but there is an option for you to come in person with me in Northern Virginia. So I put the link in the chat for you there. And then we have the next intensive notary bootcamp. We just finished our last session yesterday for the first cohort. So our second cohort is going to start July 25th. So it says July 24th on the event, but we do Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 to 7:30 for that event. And I'll actually screen share for you guys too. Let me tell you while I'm in here, how many in-person tickets we have left. So you will know. Definitely, get into the boot camp. Absolutely. Get into the boot camp. It's going to be really good. You can do virtual or in person if you're local to me. But let me tell you how many in person we have left before I tell you that you can do it. Hold on before. And then I'll actually show you guys what we're going to cover too. Hey, JC. All right, let's see. If I can share the screen, we'll be in business. Okay, so this is the schedule for the boot camp. It's 4 weeks. It's 8 sessions, 2-hour sessions. Sometimes we go over. It's 3 hours. But, it's all good content. And then you get the replay. Week 1, we focus on notary foundations. I can't tell you how many people from the first cohort have been able to get their small business certifications. They have their LLCs, they have virtual office addresses, they have registered agents, they have everything set up as far as business fundamentals. And that was really good to see people emailing me Vanessa, I got my small business certification. So that was pretty good. We focus on a lot of business building basics and business building. I wouldn't say basics. A lot of people who are in business don't know the stuff that we're talking about. So it's things that you just need to know in order to build a successful company. And then we talked about general notary work. Week 2 is going to be become a master loan closer, and that's where we go into loan docs, every different type of loan doc. We go over sample docs, different types of closings, the whole closing process, like what the title company does, what the lender does, what the signer does, like everybody's part. And the reason why we do that is because if you just focus on your one part as the notary, you're at a disadvantage, because you need to understand what does the title company need in order for them to be successful. And if you can figure out what their needs are, you can be that perfect notary. That's like, okay, she knows everything we need. What does the lender need in order for this closing to be successful? And so we talk about all those 3 things in the training, so you understand like how it works. Why is it so imperative that you need, certain orders need scan backs? Let's talk about it. What does it mean to file a deed at the courthouse? When's the cutoff? Like how does e-filing work? How does e-closings work? Getting more knowledgeable about the industry that you're in is going to make you a high commodity to your clients. Okay. So you have, we did master loan closer, remote online notarizations. We went into all of that, how to market, how to get the clients, how to do notarizations, how to price point, all that good stuff. So you know how to be set up, not just set up like the actual setup, but the legal portion, and then how to monetize and actually make money in this space. Week 3, we go over field inspections, weddings and apostillees, marketing, and client management. And I'm thinking about adding fingerprinting in, because that was one thing that I know some of the ladies were asking for. So we might add that on too. I'm not committed to it. I think I'm going to add it on to make sure it works with the schedule. And then week 4 was AI and automation, business credit. A lot of people got their business credit set up for a lot of the beginner accounts, and then we start talking about the different levels and things like that you can get into to start using business credit to fund your account. And I teach you guys how to do it without using your own personal credit. If you want to, you can. So we talk about the different ways you can do it, the different ways to build business credit, no matter what your financial situation is on the personal side. And it doesn't matter which financial situation is for the business side. And so we go into all of the worlds of business building, which is really important. And then tax and financial management, we talked about LLCs, Schedule Cs, S Corps, W-9s, EINs, what the IRS is looking for, what your state and city is looking for, how to do a profit and loss statement, how to make sure you're actually profitable and you're not just spinning your wheels. Okay. AI and automation we did as well. So a lot of different things is jam-packed into this, into the boot camp. So virtual tickets are $179. In person is $379. And let me tell you what in-person seating looks like. Oh, I think it's only one more. I think it says 2. It says 1, but I think one of my in-persons moved to virtual. So I'm gonna have to double check. I want to make sure I don't know if I switched it out already. So 2 at the most. For in person. Let me just double check while I'm on here. Let's see if I moved her. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's 2 in-persons left. I didn't move her yet. Let me move her now. So we have 2 in-person seats left for the boot camp, but then you can also stream and you get all of the replays. So you can, yes. Okay. No, there's no discount code for the boot camp. If you want to get into the courses at notarytonotary.com, you can use promo code 2023. That's going to give you 50% off any of the courses that you choose to sign up with. Today is also the last day to get the golden ticket deal, which gives you all of the courses, all 18 courses that we offer for $299. So I'll put that link in here too, but that ends today. Okay. Let me pull this other one up too for you. That was the bundle. And then someone asked me a question. I clicked off the screen. Just bear with me for a moment. Did y'all hear that I booked a wedding at a prison? That's my first prison wedding. That was pretty cool. Let me see. All right, I gotta do an inspection today. Stay on me. I got this. This was an amazing class. Especially shows you how to run a professional notary business and beyond. Oh, thanks, honey bunty. I'm like, let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, you can't. So the promo code does not work on the golden ticket. So the golden ticket is $2.99 flat. There's no promo code. But if you get the they can't see you yet. Hold on. If you get the any of the other courses, let's say you don't need all 18 courses because you have some already, then you can just get. Is that your phone? One moment. Anywho, you can use promo code 2023 for 50% off, but it won't work on the golden ticket. Okay, and that is only active today. It will be deactivated at midnight. Well, maybe around 2, 3 o'clock. Plus, I gotta give time for California. I used to cut it off at midnight, but then it was like, well, we're on different time zones. It's not fair. So, like, by 6 a.m., it'll be off. Is there an app you recommend for notary bookkeeping? So y'all know the first one that I usually tell everyone to get to is Notary Assist. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys too for that. I use Notary Assist. It's one that I've used for a while. I also use QuickBooks, but I feel like it depends on the level that you're at. I think you can definitely get started just using Notary Assist. And then, you really got to start looking at your numbers. That was a big thing that we did in the boot camp was, what's your numbers? Like, what's the metrics that you're trying to hit? Not just dollar amounts, but like, client responses, closings, like actually like looking at your numbers. We talk about that a lot. When you're marketing, do you match it up with what you're getting back? Like, so if you do heavy like loan closing, signing service, sign up, title company marketing, when are you seeing, and the only way you can kind of track this is to see like when you're getting the responses back, so you can say, okay, when I marketed this way, this was like the return on my marketing efforts, so I really wanted to stress a lot during this boot camp too. You really have to track what you're doing. You have to track your like literal everything that you do. What gets measured gets managed. And a lot of people always ask me, like, Vanessa, what makes your training so different from everyone else's training? Is that I've had a lot of training on business development. So not just on notarial law and not just on how to do a loan closing, but I have a very strong background in business development, period. So it's like, I understand that if I don't manage, if I don't track these things, then there's no way for me to know what actually works and what doesn't work. There's no way for me to know a slow season from a busy season. If I don't, if you're just looking at what's in your bank account, but you're like, oh, well, I made this much. Are you looking at profit? I mean, are you looking at the money in your account? You're not looking at your expenses and not just literal expenses, but time. How much time did I put in to do this? You know what I mean? And then looking to see like what was most effective. And then when, like, you'll start to see trends. Like, when are people most looking to get wills, POAs, medical directives? When are they most refinancing? Like, when are loan closings booming the most? Do you track this stuff? Do you even know how mortgage rates work? Do you know when they're going up and down? Do you know, okay, when interest rates are really high, who's still buying? Who's still moving? Understanding those markets, because they're going to be different markets. So like the average person that's doing a regular refi, like when the interest rates drop, that's like your average Joe who's working a regular job, They're going to be the ones that are like, oh, interest rates are down. I'm going to go refi my house or buy a house, whatever the case is. But let's say interest rates are high. Who's still moving? Who's still doing stuff? When do the investors come out? When investors come out, they're not working with the banks, right? Sometimes, they may, but they also work with non-traditional lenders. So really understanding all of the facets of you, and you're never done doing it, but when you're looking at, okay, the average Joe goes to the Bank of America. Where does the investor go? Where do the builders go? Where are those communities? Where are those transactions happening? And then you can better judge, okay, so when this is happening like this is where I'm going to go. You see what I'm saying? And that's why when we were talking yesterday, we were talking about automations and just like, how you can set certain things up. But what I was saying is like, you're never done. You're never done. It's never like, oh, I've done everything. I mean, if you as a business owner can say, I've done everything that I could possibly have done to build my business, it's like the most uneducated statement, because as a business owner, you are never done. You are never done. You're never done. You're never done with client acquisition. You're never done with client management. You're never done with the actual service or skill set you're providing. You're never done with researching and learning your industry. You're never done with reviewing. Like, you can always I will sometimes just study my trends. Like, I will just one day pull all my reports and just study trends and just say, okay, I look at my clients and I'll look and see, well, when are they sending me the most work? Who's sending me the most work? I will just study my client. Yes, I haven't heard anything from Amrock in a while. I'll just go online and say, what's Amrock got going on? Oh, they launched this new product. Oh, they have this new program. And it's like you just have, like, you're never done. Okay. And if you ever feel like you are done, hang it up. Like, you have so much more to do. Like, you are never finished, and just know that every industry, no matter what industry you're in, it will always change. It's always changing. There's always new innovations, new players in the space, and so new legislation, you're never done. That's what I'm saying. So that being said, I'm trying to find you this link really quick. Yesterday we were talking about, AI and automation, and that's something that's really new in comparison to, like, period, and that's something that you have to learn. Like, these tools that I'm teaching these notaries about, how, like, the reality is, so Google says, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. Google says a really optimized website posts about 15 to 20 SEO optimized articles a month, right? And so if you have a website that doesn't have a blog first, okay, or a website where you're posting like one blog a month, and then you have this other notary that went through my training and understands AI and understands SEO, and they have the tools now to push out 50 articles a month that's SEO optimized on their website, they're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? And so the reality is, you have to be able to continue to level up and match this playing field. I was meeting with perfect scenario with a notary like 2 weeks ago, and we were looking at her website, and she was like, well, I'm not getting any calls. So I was like, well, what do you do on your website? And she's like, I don't really do much because it doesn't bring me anything. I said, honey, when something works, it works. It works. Google. Okay. You don't have to question Google. Not once. You never hear anyone saying, well, I don't think Google's working. Why? Because Google works every single time. So if Google's not working for you, it's because you're not playing Google's game correctly. And so I pulled her site up, and I pulled up what her genre was in her city, and I put that in Google, and it gave me the heavy hitters. And so we just pulled one of those heavy hitters. I'm sorry. So I pulled one of those heavy hitters, and I put their URL like into my my SEO platform that I use to look to see what they're ranking for. And I was like, okay, well, that's why they're getting all the business, because look at their site. Look how optimized their website is. Look at all their backlinks. Look at their meta tags. Look at their, all the blogs. Look at their content. Their content is killing it. And you go to your site, you have nothing. It's not a matter of, oh, you sit around and say, well, it's not working. And no, you're not working. You're not doing it right. You have failed to get the information to make it profitable. This man who has this business that is successful, and you are in the same industry, the only reason why his is kicking your butt is because he took the time to understand what Google needs so he can provide it to Google, so Google can then feed him clients and then in return money. But you just built something and said, oh, it's not working, I'm doing something else. Or how about we figure it out so we can make sure that it's going to bring us clients? Like, this is something that, we have to really get outside of. We have to figure out, like, as business owners, if you're going to be a real business owner, you need to take time to learn these things, to learn account. You think well, now I don't mind. I pay for training. It's a training I found this morning. I'm going to pay. It's like $300, but it's a training that I want to take. I love the teacher of this training, but I have no problem dropping money on a training or a class that, that I vetted, and I think it's good, because this $300 can help me make $300,000. You see what I'm saying? And so I look at it that way. If you currently are at one place, you are there because you don't know what you need to know to be better. So you're here because you don't have the resource and the education to be here. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you want to increase, you have to know more. What you know has gotten you to this point. And so, just looking at, whenever anyone says anything like, oh, I'm not getting phone calls, or I'm not getting, I'm not getting leads, I'm not getting this, it's always you. It's always you. Unless you're out here selling something that no one literally wants. Like, I can't even think of something people don't buy. People buy air, my dude. People buy air. Okay, so at this point, I can't even think of anything people don't want. People out here buying pig feet. Anyway, I'm gonna let that go. I made a post about that yesterday, and their little feelings like, I like my pig feet. You do realize that's feet, right? Okay. time, pig feet. Okay, so people will buy it. It's just a matter of are you set up in a way that's engaging? You know, people will build a website that looks horrible. You know what I mean? But they're like, oh, people aren't using it because it looks ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's not optimized. It's moving really slow. Like it's so much that goes into it. So that's why I said, like, you have to take the time if you're going to actually be successful. People always, and then people, they get in their feelings and they're like, oh, and I'm going to tell you right now, so that way you don't say it again. What I want no one to say ever again is, I've done everything, Vanessa, it's not working. Don't say that. Say, I've done everything that I know how to do and it's not working. So can you teach me what I'm missing so I can do better? Because I promise you, you have not done everything. Okay, so don't say I've done everything, it's not working. Say I've done everything that I know how to do. So that way we can say, okay, there we go. Let's get in there and actually fix it and get you where you need to be. Okay. So just purchase a virtual session, would suggest adding a one-on-one coaching for someone who hold on. Would you suggest adding a one-on-one coaching for someone looking to really jumpstart your business for the next 60 days? So I do have one-on-one coaching. It's on my website. I'm going to put the link in here. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. And guys, you never arrive. Like, remember that. You never arrive. You're never done. You know, I'm constantly having to, you know, revamp, relook at things, you know, learn. Especially like, you know, especially like in any industry, really, you have to continue to grow and increase. Like with Ron being as big as it is now, I had to take a step back and really study the new legislation, you know, study the technology, study like, you know, people will get into it and they're like, oh, you know, well, oh, I want to do this. I want to be an e-note. I want to work from home. Okay, cool. Like, but you're going into it as a worker bee. You're going into it as an employee. You can't do that unless you go get a job as a notary. You can do that. Like banks will hire you. Different companies will hire you as a notary. But if you're going to do it independent, you have to go in it as a business owner. If you go into it thinking like, oh, well, I have people all the time that come to me and they're like, oh, Vanessa, I've signed up with like 3 companies and I have a website and I'm NNA certified and I have my E&O insurance, but I haven't made any calls. You've done this much in perspective of what needs to be done to build. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Do you think it's like, it's not easy? If it was easy for people to make 6 figures, do you know making 6 figures in the US puts you at like, what is it, like that 7 or 10%? Like most people in the US don't make 6 figures. Okay. So if it was easy, everybody would do it. Most people in the US do not make 6, especially once you hit like 250K, I think they put you in like the 5%. I might have got numbers wrong, but it's very, very small amount of people who, not just business owners, people living, okay, to make 6 figures annually. Now, it's not, especially with the rise in rates, like it's not hard to find somebody who makes 100K. But, well, I'm saying it's not hard. It's also not easy. Like a lot of people don't make 100K a year. But to make, you know, 200K, 300K a year, that's not a small feat. It's not very common. And when you go on social media and you see other people like, oh, I'm a millionaire. It's not, when you think about the perspective of the population in the US, okay, versus those people, they're still like the 5% or the 3% that are putting in the work to get there. There are like hundreds of thousands of businesses that don't make that. Okay. Yes, you're never done working. Okay, let me get a few questions. I do have to get ready to skedaddle because I gotta go to I'm gonna go out of town. I'm reading this text message. Okay. Yeah, but I gotta ready to go to this Chesterfield Chamber luncheon, so I gotta get ready to skedaddle. But people out here buying iPhones and fruitcakes. Don't play with me. I just brought your package for the 4th of July weekend. I must say that I'm learning a lot from your course. You are so very welcome. Definitely stay connected. If you have any questions, email, call, all that good stuff. We're definitely here to help you. I'm in South Carolina. Right on the border. I would like to have a public notarized in North Carolina, but I have to reside or work in that state. So you just need an address for most places. So you could either get an office, like a virtual office address, or an actual brick and mortar address. I wouldn't tell you to buy a house or anything. That's a lot more investment, but you could just get an address there. That's what I would do typically. If I obtain a business license from an LLC in the state of North Carolina, would that allow me to practice as a public notary in North Carolina? I'm trying to understand your question, so bear with me for a minute. If I obtain a business license for my LLC in North Carolina, so is your LLC currently in North Carolina? That's or are you somewhere else? Oh, are you the one that said you're in South Carolina? Okay, you're in South Carolina. So you don't need to get a new LLC to operate in more than one state. But so if you get a virtual office address or an office address in North Carolina, as long as North Carolina has business licenses, not all states and counties do. So that's why I say if. I think they do, but I don't want to say yes. Then yes, you can get your business license there. And then you can operate as a notary public. So, but like, I feel like too, it depends. So there's some shades of grays there. What I would do, shoot me an email, because it really depends on the jurisdiction that you're going to be in. Because like I said, not all counties and cities require a business license. Most of them, if you do get one, you have to pay for the license. It's not much usually. And then you have to file reports every year on the revenue earned in that jurisdiction. But I feel like there's like, I doubt it highly. Well, if you have a location there, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm working it out in my head. If you're providing mobile notary services, but you don't have a location, but you have to get the location to get your address. I like when I get a challenging question. Your LLC's in South Carolina. Get the business license and the address in North Carolina. Yes. To be adequate on paper. Yes. My only thought process is that is how you can do it? Absolutely. Boom. But I'm trying to figure out if you have to do that or if there's like a lesser means to accomplish that same outcome. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But you could absolutely do it that way. I'm just seeing if it's like required to do that way or if there's a way around it. You know, I'm always like you want to do things right, but you don't want to keep, paying for things and adding on more things to do. So, it just depends on your city. What I would do too, I would reach out once you get your address that you're going to do in North Carolina, reach out to the Office of the Revenue there, the Commission of the Revenue, Office of the Revenue, and then ask them. Say you're a mobile notary commissioned in South Carolina, your business is there. However, you have a new virtual office address here, and you're going to start doing work here. Do you need, and they'll ask you like, well, how much do you think you're going to make? Yada, yada, yada. Do you need a business license? Yada, yada, yada. And they'll kind of give you that feedback. And then let me know. I'm curious to see what they say. I have the same question. What are good website platforms? Platforms for what? For building your website? Weebly, Wix. If you want to go on GoDaddy, you can do that. I'm not a big fan of GoDaddy's website builder because of the price point, but you can do that if you want to. You could also do WordPress and build your own site or pay someone on Fiverr to build your site for you, Fiverr. My recommendation, you still need to learn it. So a lot of people say, well, I don't want to learn websites. It's too much. At the end of the day, if your site's down, if you're having issues on your site, you have people to at least know how. It's 2023. Time out for the games. And we're done. Are you done? I'm done. Learn it. I'm not telling you to learn how to code. I'm telling you to learn how to make basic edits on your site. Like understand how websites operate. How people get so confused. They be like, well, I have a domain, but they don't understand between domain, hosting. You need to understand the basic operations of a website. So that way you know as a business owner, if something goes down, something's wrong, you gotta know how to fix it. To become NNA certified, don't need to take their courses. No, you just need to take the exam. It's $70 in almost every state. If you're in New York, it's $165. In my notary signing agent course, I teach you how to pass that exam as well. Okay, but you take it every year. Virtual office address. If you're in Virginia, we provide them to you. If you're not in Virginia, just go on Google and just Google virtual office address near you. I prefer to get the ones that are brick and mortar locations that you can actually go into that, have offer resources to. But it's fully up to you. Just make sure they're a brick and mortar location because sometimes they're not. And if they're not, it's going to limit you on a lot of things. It may limit you on business credit, on just different things so they can't validate your location and makes you look kind of shady and not like an actual business. Okay. I try to go live every day. It doesn't always happen that way, but I'm working on it. What do you recommend for a website builder? Well, I build my own sites. Well, I start off building my own sites. Now I have a team that helps me, but I build a lot of my own sites. But I do use a guy on Fiverr that I found a couple years ago that will do the basic groundwork for me. His name is Mark_Dean. And I said that last time. This is the guy that I use. And just tell him Vanessa sent you. He's on Fiverr. I use him to do my basic layout, build pages, and then I'll go in brand. He does the branding, and then I'll just go in and change as I need it. But I always use him for all my basic builds, just to get like the groundwork done, and then I get it and get it, But I did my first website. I actually built on WordPress myself, and it was coding, and I taught it to myself via YouTube. So you can do it as well, but it's just a matter of, and I think it took me like 4 or 5 days just binging YouTube content on how to build a site on WordPress. This was like 2013, 12. Yeah, around that time. Okay. But yeah, so definitely, guys, I do have to get ready to skedaddle. Like I said, I am going to a chamber event, which I'm gonna be a little late for now. Boom! Shaka waka. You can definitely get into the boot camp. Once again, I put the link in the chat for you. Everything is on our website, notarytonotary.com as well. There were 2 seats available. I don't know if it's still there now for in-person, but virtual, you can get your ticket as well. It's 4 weeks. All sessions are recorded for you as well. And you can see the different topics we'll be teaching on inside on the Eventbrite page. The other thing is the golden ticket bundle that ends today. That's all 18 courses for $299. That deal ends today too. And if you just get 1 course or 2 courses, you can use promo code 2023 for 50% off. And it doesn't work on that bundle, but it does work on any of the individual courses. The last thing I'm going to tell you about, because I keep forgetting to say it, we talked about it last night. We do have that ChatGPT ebook where it just gives you over 2,000 prompts that you can use specifically for your notary business. So we had some fun with that yesterday. I am going to do more, just different trainings on AI tools that I use. I did find the AI tool that I told you guys I've been using, and I forgot what it was called. It's called Article Forge. So that's the one that I was using to generate SEO optimized articles for my website. And it literally will push me out like 50 articles. Well, it takes like 10 minutes because it does a lot of work. It makes sure it's not like ChatGPT, and it puts like the links in it, the images, the videos, whatever I want. It's all in, and I still go in and edit it, but I'm able to use that. And everyone kept asking, what's the name of it? And I couldn't find it, but I found it again. It's Article Forge, and that's an AI tool. There's a lot of AI tools, and I teach you guys that during the class, I'm going to show you like free ones and then ones you can pay for, but I don't want people to go out and just start paying for stuff. I feel like none of you guys should be using Article Forge until you start using ChatGPT. If you can't learn ChatGPT, I mean really learn it, not just get in there and start playing around, but really learn it. Go from ChatGPT 3.5 to ChatGPT 4. The ChatGPT 4 is $20 a month, but then you have the integrations you can use. And so like there's levels to it. I just don't want you guys going out and buying a bunch of AI tools and then like you sitting around looking crazy. I'm always like, just start with one thing, okay? And then master that one thing, and then you move on from there. So if you have not done anything AI world, just go to ChatGPT and start there. Okay, because there's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of AI tools available now, and you can really go down a rabbit hole and be looking crazy after. That's the link for my Ron course. That's just for Ron. Okay, remote online notaries, the e-notary training. Okay, everybody with me? I like it. All right, guys, that is also the clock on the wall. I love you guys. Be great on purpose. I'm going to go live later again today. I think, fingers crossed. But first, I'm going to go to this luncheon and get some food, right? Then I'm going to talk. Food and talk. Look, there we go. Food and talk. And then I'll send some emails out to people that I meet. I usually get business cards, and I have an automation for that. We talked about that yesterday. I have an automation where when I get business cards, I upload them into these tools that I use that sends out automated emails and voicemails, and it's a whole situation. So literally, because I set it up, all I do is just scan the card into this app, and it does everything else for me. If you have like a bad follow-up game, you need that automation, because it follows up for you. You don't have to do anything. Honey, listen. That's why I said, listen, AI is making my life so much easier. But I will tell you, I saw Mission Impossible yesterday. If you didn't see Mission Impossible, the one that just came out, I'm not going to blow it for y'all. It was really good. I really liked it. But I love Tom Cruise anyway because he does his own stunts and he's awesome. Okay, that's it. And I really wonder, never mind. No, I wonder. He did a stunt in the movie, and you'll know when you see it, that's the stunt I was talking about. If he did that for real, like he gets all of the awards. Like, did you really do that? If that is like true, I'm just like, listen, Listen. Okay. All right, guys, I'm a skedaddle. It's a bunch of tools. It's 3 tools that I sync together. I use BizConnect, Zapier, Slide Broadcast. Not really 11 Labs, but a little bit of 11 Labs. It's a lot. That's why I said I don't want y'all to go out and get a bunch of stuff. That's why I said I'm going to show. Well, JC, I think you're really into the AI space. But yeah, just shoot me an email and I'll list out the ones, JC, for you. Otherwise, I would want to just show it. I don't want anybody, because it can be confusing. It can be overwhelming. And I don't want to be like, oh, Vanessa said to buy this, and now, like, it's just too much. No. Go to ChatGPT and start there. Do that, okay? All right, guys. That's what I was saying. The ChatGPT book, the ebook for prompts, it's over 2,000 prompts that you would use with ChatGPT as it pertains specifically to your notary business, okay? And one thing I will say to you guys, once again, this is not something that, and that's why I say a lot of people don't use ChatGPT right. Like, I didn't when I ain't gonna lie. When it first came out, I did my research. So I was using it right. But I kept learning, because if you just go and start using it, you're not using it to its full capability. I promise you. This prompt book that you have here, you're never done. Okay? Because like when you really understand how to use the prompts and how to take that prompt and it branches out to more, like it'll take you forever to really work through all those prompts and truly use the information and apply it in your business. Like that ultimate signing and title company list is like over 2,000 companies for you to market to. There is no way that anyone could actually be done with that list effectively. There's no way. And I teach on that too, like how to actually do client acquisition. Like you're never done. I'm not done with that list. And I made it. Okay. But a lot of people just kind of like throw and take together and just like, okay, I did this. No, that's not the way that works. Like you really got to put your work in. So anywho, and that's why like this is like, I'm always teaching. I'm always talking. And I try to like make sure I go back to the basics and I don't start. Like if you're brand new to this space, definitely get into the notary signing agent course that I have, because it talks about the foundation, general notary work, and loan closing. And so it really gets into a lot of the basics. A lot of people who are like, oh, I took this class, or I'm already a notary, or I've done this. They haven't done a lot of things that I'm talking about in the training. And so that's why I say, like, I don't know what you've done, but I know if you do what I tell you to do, then it will work. So it's really hard. People say, well, what? Can you tell me what I'm missing? I don't know what you did. So if you're in the coaching program, then we can talk about it. And I can say, okay, what have you done? And then I can say, oh, okay, well, you skip steps, or that's cool, but you're missing this. If you're not making money, you're missing something. And so but because I've been doing this so long, it doesn't take me long to figure out what you're missing. Plus I talk about it every day, right? So it's not rocket science. It's just, you're missing this. Go do this. Okay. All right, guys, I'm a skedaddle. I have this new book that I'm reading. I don't know how good it is, but it's been good so far. It's called How Am I Doing? 40 Conversations to Have with Yourself. People always ask me what books I'm reading. This is my current read. And I like it because it's like a question that you can think about, and then it talks about it afterwards. So the first question was, who is the most important person in your life? And I thought about it, and I said, me. And I had to explain like why it was me. And that was the answer they were looking for. And explain to why you have to take care of yourself and how we put ourselves on the back burner, right? And then like another one, what makes you deeply happy? But it's things that it's a really good internal, assessment. What do you love most about being you? I hadn't gotten that one yet. I don't know. And this book, the way I use it is I get the question and I think about it throughout the day. And then I'll journal and then I'll read what they put. So what do I love the most about being me? My first initial response would be, I love that I'm funny, and I love having fun, and I love my spirit. I love that I'm like really high energy, and I love that I'm really happy, because a lot of people aren't, I don't know if they're born that way or not. I have no idea. I just know I've always been really happy and really like bubbly and really just like, and I love that about me, because I couldn't imagine not being that way. I feel like compassion and sympathy for people who are not happy, like who are not, and there's sometimes when I'm not happy, but it's like, I always bounce back to me because it's me, you know? And so I'm very high energy, very sporadic, very like, you know, let's do it, let's go, let's go, let's go. That's very much me. And so I love that about me. So this is the book I'm reading right now. All right. And shout out to my babies from cohort 1. I didn't get to see all of you guys if you didn't come in class yesterday. But thank you for my flowers for the intensive notary boot camp. They said thank you for being there for us. And they gave me this tweet. It's so sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are the best ever. I will see you guys. The way go, be awesome on purpose. Until I love that about you too. Now go to your thing, right? By the time I leave, look, lunch could be over. No, I'm going. I'm out. I'm out. 5,000. I'll see you guys later. Be great on purpose. Until next time, happy signing. Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get